Hello, my people. Good day to you, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, I appreciate your attention. Thank you for tuning in every single day on Telegram, to listen to me on YouTube, to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojola for Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode, I want to talk about partnership, especially putting the right set of people together to achieve a better aim. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. If you put the right heads together, you will come up with one incredibly brilliant brain. Together, everyone accomplishes more, or together, everyone is a moron. You and I have to choose wisely how you define your team. If you put the right heads together, you will come up with one incredibly brilliant brain. Together, everyone accomplishes more, or together, everyone is a moron. Choose wisely. So, that is what I want us to talk about in some few short minutes. Let's just get right into it. You know, we live in a world that celebrates this mantra of self-made, in quote, person, self-made person. We love the idea of the solo act, the individual genius, the person who does it all on their own, no help, no input, just them, their talent, and their grind. But let me tell you something real. That is a myth. It's not real, all right? It's good for the headlines, self-made billionaire. It's good for the headlines, but it's a myth. Even the most iconic names, Einstein, Oprah, Elon, Jobs, Beyonce, name them. They all had something in common. They had a team. All right, they had a team, a circle. They have a mastermind. People around them who challenged them, who refined them, who covered their blind spots, who amplified their strengths, who pulled them back from their flaws. See, nobody wins alone. And if you do win alone, you lose something bigger in the process. See, what happens when the wrong heads link up? Let us flip it a little bit. Because not every group is a dream team, okay? Not every connection is a collaboration. Not every collective creates brilliance. Sometimes, if you put the wrong heads together, you don't multiply intelligence, okay? You multiply confusion, you multiply dysfunction, you multiply folly, you multiply disaster. Let me put it plainly. Together, everyone accomplishes more. That's another definition of team. And also together, everyone is a moron. That's another definition of team. T-E-A-M. There is nothing worse than being trapped in a room full of people who are all loud, but none of them are wise, none of them are making any sense. A group of yes men cannot challenge you. A circle of gossips won't grow you. A table full of egos won't elevate you. If the people around you don't think critically, they don't act intentionally, they don't live purposefully, then all you've got is noise. And sometimes the noise sounds like consensus, but it is just a collective collapse of common sense. That is why you have to choose wisely, all right? When you have to choose who gets your attention wisely. You have to choose who speaks into your decisions wisely. You have to choose who influences your next move, because the wrong input will sabotage your next output. You need to know that energy is contagious, and so is stupidity. All right, energy is contagious. We know that. But let's not forget, stupidity too is contagious. Spend enough time with lazy people and watch how your drive will slowly disappear. Hang with fearful people long enough and you will stop taking bold steps. Surround yourself with people who only criticize and you will forget how to create. Keep company with those who gossip about other people, and they will eventually gossip about you. You don't just inherit beliefs from people. You absorb their patterns. You get influenced by their energy. So when I say choose wisely, I'm not talking about being judgmental. I'm talking about being intentional. Because who you think with, like who you rub minds with, determines what you come up with. You need to learn that. You need to remember that. Who you think with determines what you come up with. Iron sharpens iron, but it also reveals rust. You've heard it before. Iron sharpens iron. That sounds powerful, right? Yeah. But what people forget is iron cannot sharpen iron unless it is in contact and under friction. That means the people around you need to be able to rub up against your thinking, not just agree with it. They need to push back in love, challenge you with clarity, and confront you with care. See, because you need to listen. If your circle never checks you, it is not a circle, it's a cage. If everyone thinks like you, talks like you, agrees with you, you're not growing, you are echoing, and echoes don't produce evolution. Tension does. Truth does. Diversity of thoughts does. But here's the catch. When iron meets rust, the sharp edge doesn't stay sharp. It corrodes. All right, what do I mean by that? If you're trying to grow, but the people around you are decaying in mindset, you will start to dull. Spiritually, you will start to dull. Emotionally, intellectually, you are getting rusty. So ask yourself, are the people around me sharpening me or rusting me? I want you to ask yourself again, are the people around me sharpening me or rusting me? See, you need to build a brilliant brain. All right, let's just switch it up for a little bit. Let's imagine the power of putting the right heads together. When minds with discipline, vision, character, creativity, and courage comes together, magic happens. Now, we are not just talking about addition, right? We are talking about multiplication. We are talking about synergy. We are talking about exponential output. That is what a brilliant brain looks like. It is not one person doing it all. It is a team of minds, each with different strengths, seeing different angles, covering different gaps. You don't need people who just agree with you. You need people who can enhance you, all right? There's somebody that sees what you miss, one who hears what you ignore, one that challenges what you assume, one that refines what you start, and together you come up with ideas, you come up with solutions, you come up with strategies, you come up with impact that none of you could have accomplished alone. That is a brilliant brain. That is a powerhouse team. That is a circle that is not just cute, it is constructive. So today, I want you to check your circle. Don't just celebrate it, check it. You see, have you ever seen people on social media post their squad goals pictures? Everyone is smiling, matching outfit, cool captions, vibes all the way, vibe all day. But vibes won't build your vision, all right? And just because you like your circle doesn't mean your circle is good for your life. Let me say that again. Just because you like your circle doesn't mean your circle is good for your life. It's important. Let me give you a tool. Every now and then you need to check your circle with these 3 filters. Are they pulling me up or holding me back? That's 1. 2. Do they celebrate growth or get jealous of it? You need to check that. Number 3, can we talk about real stuff? Or we just gossip, we just talk about trends or surface things. So you need to check that. If you find yourself constantly shrinking to stay in that group, listen to me. You've outgrown the table. It is time to find a new room. All right. Loyalty is great, but loyalty to stagnation will suffocate your calling. You need to remember that. You need to be loyal, I get it. But loyalty to stagnation will suffocate your calling. You need to choose brilliance over familiarity. Sometimes the people you love the most are not the people you need the most in your decision-making room. All right? Now, don't get me wrong. You can still love them, pray for them, even do life with them. But when it comes to building, strategizing, creating, and becoming, you've got to be discerning. All right? You have to have discernment. You don't just choose teammates just by comfort. All right, you choose by strategy, you choose by capacity, you choose by capability. Can they carry weight with you? Can they hold truth with you? Can they bring value when things get complex? You need to remember, just because someone knows you doesn't mean they grow you. All right, someone can know you, but they might not be able to grow you. You need to have discernment. All right. Now, let me say this before we close. The most powerful groups are not made of the smartest people. They are made up of the most humble people. Because brilliance is not just about IQ. It is about emotional quotient, EQ, emotional intelligence, relational maturity, the ability to listen, to admit, to adapt, to collaborate. A room full of ego is just a room full of chaos. But a room full of humble, hungry, purpose-driven minds, that is a room where movements are birthed, where businesses are built, where legacies are formed. So when you are forming your brilliant mind, ask yourself this: are we leading with ego, or we are leading with purpose? Because the motive determines the momentum. So go to